Good afternoon, it's Brett here, Lineheart84. Thought I'd do a short video on why I'm growing what I'm growing now that the rain's stopped. It's Sunday the 16th, it's still Father's Day. I've been over to my parents for a small celebration lunch. Back home now, hopefully going to the cinema tonight, but just thought I'd talk for a few minutes. The video I was planning to do this morning couldn't do because it was too wet. I've had a few people say to me, ask me, why haven't you got apples and pears and cherries and plums and apricots and peaches and nectarines and all those sort of fruits growing, raspberries, blackberries, red currants, white currants, all the fruits that are ideally suited to our UK climate. And the simple reason is, to be honest, is space. I've got to say, if I had like a half-acre garden, I'd most definitely have 2 or 3 apples, and I'd have a few pears, and it'd be nice to grow plums and cherries and apricots, again peaches, nectarines, perhaps a pluot or an aprium or a pluery, or all those sort of weird hybrid stone fruits that seem to be available now. But at the end of the day, my garden is a normal, small, suburban or urban garden. I guess the usable width of the garden is probably about 23-24 feet, so about 7.5 metres. The growing length as well is probably about 25 feet of usable space, because obviously I've got the deck here which takes up space. I've also got an area of lawn in the middle because it does look nice, and I don't really want to just fill the garden with trees and nothing else. But obviously that does sort of limit what I can grow, so I've tried to select plants for a different sort of criteria. If you hear a strange bouncing noise in the background, I think the children are on the trampoline next door, so typically enough it was dead quiet when I came out, and now they've decided to play on the trampoline, but that's no problem. The weather's nice, they might as well make the most of it. But so I've kind of decided to really try and pick not just fruits, because I like unusual, I like ornamental, attractive, exotic flowers as well, but obviously I've tried to put a few fruits into the garden, but rather than going for the sort of run-of-the-mill stuff, I've tried to pick stuff that you know perhaps fires up my imagination, or is a bit challenging to grow, or simply isn't grown by anyone here in the UK, and also fruits that you can't buy in the shops. I mean, stuff that I would like to try, but it's impossible to try, like American pawpaws, obviously jujubes, I've got quite a few persimmons growing, mulberries in particular. I mean, mulberries, jujubes, pawpaw, they're just fruits. The pineapple guavas, they're fruits that you will never be able to buy in the UK. They're not grown here commercially. In fact, they're very rarely grown commercially anywhere, and I think they probably grow pineapple guavas in New Zealand on a commercial basis, but most of those other fruits don't travel. I mean, unless you can buy pawpaw locally to you in America, or pineapple guavas, or grow them in your own garden, there's really no chance of ever get to taste them in your whole life. So I decided, excuse me, but still got a bit of a cold at the moment. So I thought, why not grow things that are challenging but might, in a very warm, long summer, produce fruit here. But I don't just pick fruits and plants for the purposes of possible fruiting. I've tried to pick things that are dual or triple purpose, so they're going to be attractive at various times of the year, nice foliage, nice flowers, nice autumn colours, and potentially fruit as well. So it's not just sort of a one-purpose fruit, if you like. Now, there are fruits that you can occasionally buy here, like persimmons. I've actually managed to get some here, Sharon fruit or persimmons. This variety is Triumph. Now, you can occasionally buy persimmons or Sharon fruit in the shops here at certain times of the year, but what I've found is they're nearly always the varieties Triumph and Rojo Brillant. Well, the problem is they're the astringent varieties, and to try and remove the astringency here in Europe when they're harvested, I believe they treat them with carbon dioxide gas, which helps remove the astringency. They're certainly not picked from the tree. When they're ripe and soft. So the problem is they really struggle to ripen. They're not very sweet when you eat them, even if they're not astringent. I have on one occasion managed to buy fuyus here in about October or November, and I believe they were growing in Spain, and they were quite nice, but even they were very pale orange and not what I would call very sweet. So I've decided to try growing some various persimmon trees in pots and containers, see what happens. And I've also got some American varieties of persimmons growing, because they definitely cannot be bought over here. There's only 2 or 3 commercially grown varieties, as I said, Triumph, Rojo Brillant, and occasionally you can find some fuyus. So I've got quite a few unusual varieties, and we'll see how they go. Again, with mulberries, very attractive trees. I've got an Illinois everbearing which should fruit on and off throughout the summer, but of course you can't I don't think you can buy mulberries commercially anywhere really, because as soon as you pick them the fruits disintegrate, or certainly if you pick them when they're ripe and at their best. So it makes sense to try and grow a couple in pots, and I've actually got some fruits on the Illinois everbearing now. Again, pineapple guavas, also known as feijoa and oraca. They're, to me, they're triple purpose at least. I mean, they're very attractive evergreen shrubs that I can grow in the normal plant border. They've got beautiful silvery green leaves, which in June and July here they tend to have very, very attractive exotic red flowers, which you can eat the petals of. So that's already 2 or 3 uses, just the fact that they're very ornamental and have edible flowers. And then if we're very lucky and get a very warm summer, there is an outside chance that I could have fruits in October or November. So same thing really even with the blueberries. I mean, they're not so exotic, but they're a lovely ornamental shrub that you can grow in the normal plant border. They have very attractive growth when they come out of dormancy in the spring, either pink or pale green leaves, and those are followed by lovely sort of creamy white bell flowers for a few weeks, which are then followed by obviously blueberries, which you can eat, which is one of my favourites of the berry fruits. And then they have wonderful autumn colours as well. So again, I consider that a triple purpose plant. And same with the persimmons really. They have extremely attractive foliage when the new leaves come out, and they have a lovely large dark green glossy leaf. Plus hopefully fruits in the autumn, and most persimmons have wonderful autumn colours as well. It's the same reason for the pawpaws really. I may never get fruits to maturity here, but they have wonderful exotic sort of tropical looking foliage when you're when they're growing successfully. They have very unusual hanging bell type sort of flowers that as they mature change from a light green to a light pink to a dark sort of red or burgundy, almost a dark purple colour. And then there's an outside possibility of fruits in the late autumn here, and most of them have leaves that turn a wonderful golden yellow in the autumn, or as my American friends would say, the fall. So you can see the advantage of growing these ornamental trees. I've got about 7 or 8 varieties of figs as well. Well, I absolutely love figs, but it's very rare really to buy figs here in the supermarkets. At certain seasons you can get Turkish and probably South African figs, but from experience the figs you get here in the shops are normally that really tough leathery skin, sort of dark purple or black variety. It's picked underripe, the skin is like chewing a piece of leather, and when you open up they're dry and they're not sweet and juicy inside, so your only chance of getting a few ripe figs here to eat is realistically figs on the tree, and you'll be able to enjoy figs as they actually should taste. Again, they have very attractive foliage as well, even if you don't get figs. I consider them dual purpose. So basically my reasons for choosing things are either very ornamental in terms of flowers, but I like unusual flowers. I'm not just going to plant roses and normal stuff, although I have got a few bedding plants, and with the fruits I put in, I've tried to pick stuff that's hardy, very unusual. If it produces fruits, they're going to be fruits you can't normally buy, and basically I'm not going to be disappointed even if they don't produce fruits, because they're nice looking plants. So well, what I'll do is just pause the video here a moment, so change the camera around and show you a couple of the plants and why I picked them. Won't be a moment. So I've turned the camera around now, so I just wanted to sort of show you what I was getting at when I was talking about what I've selected for the garden and why. Obviously not everything here is going to be fruiting. I'm not obsessed with fruit growing. I like to have ornamental stuff as well. So I've got quite a few Agipanthus or Agapanthus in the garden, which are now getting, despite the horrible weather we had, are now getting very close to flowering. You can see here I've got loads of large stems. In about a week or so's time these are going to look absolutely amazing, so I'll obviously be videoing those. I've picked a variegated rhododendron here because not only does it have lovely purple flowers on it in the spring, I do have the extra benefit of having attractive ornamental foliage all year round. It's got this beautiful little golden variegation to it, so felt it was a good choice, even though it's never going to fruit in any way. Obviously it goes without saying that I've got a few, as you know, I've got a few tomatoes growing and an aubergine and a couple of peppers, but I mean they're really just filling in space at the moment until I need the space for something else. So just to give you some indication of why I've got, obviously we've got here the chocolate vines, very attractive foliage. They're actually semi-evergreen, they don't really drop their leaves at all in winter, or at least they drop some of the leaves, but they have very pretty flowers in the spring, which are scented as well, and then in a good summer, and now that I've got two of them, they'll be followed by sort of an attractive purple sausage shaped fruit which hangs down. So again, that's at least a dual purpose vine, and they'll also cover the fencing, which should look very nice next year. I've got a number of fig trees here, different varieties, which you've seen in my normal garden tours. I have actually got a Braber fruit on this one. I've no idea if it's going to make it to fruiting size. That's an unnamed variety. Apparently it's a giant purple or reddish purple fig, so if it makes to maturity I'll make sure to photograph it. Here is obviously there's a pomegranate here, again attractive foliage, lovely red shoots in the spring, going to have attractive red flowers on them. Unfortunately they don't flower here till about late June or even July, so there's very little chance of getting ripe fruit because the season's not really long enough, but we'll see what happens. I have at least got signs of life on my bare root Hanafuya that I thought really wasn't going to make it, but there are some buds coming out now, which is very satisfying. But as you can see, I've got quite a collection of persimmons here. I think I've got about 13 or 14 varieties in total. Here's my pawpaw, which rather surprisingly, if I can pull the leaves back, appears to have some embryo fruits that are set. I don't know if they're just going to drop off in the next 2 or 3 weeks, or if they're going to continue swelling, but I mean theoretically if they survived and don't fall off, I think they probably fruit in about October or November here. We'll see what happens anyway. But most of the small persimmons are showing signs of life now. The bare root ones, they've been very slow to come out. I've got 2 Asian pear trees, reasonably attractive, but I said it's, for me, not much point growing apples. I mean, my parents have got about half a dozen apple trees in their garden, and to be honest, hundreds if not thousands of apples get left on the floor every year and not eaten, and I can't see the point. I mean, I can walk into a supermarket or a greengrocer's virtually any week of the year and choose from 5 or 6 varieties of apples that I pay something like £1 to £2 for a bag of probably 8 apples. And one thing about apples is they're one of those fruits that tastes absolutely fine from the supermarket and probably as good as they would off your own tree. So when you can buy pears and apples and stone fruits like that cheaply all year round, I really can't see the point when I'm lacking in space to give over space to them in a garden, which I just haven't got much room in. Now this is actually a jujube here that's really come into growth now at last. These are very late to leaf out, and in actual fact you won't be able to see it, I don't think, but they have got what looks like flower buds in the leaf axils. So in the next couple of weeks I think we're possibly going to see flowers on them. I've got 4 of those. This one's got some buds in the leaf axils as well. The mulberry at the back is my pink Moldovan one. That looks like a particularly large leaf variety. It's got one mulberry on it hidden away underneath, which I can't show on the camera because it's in a hard place to see. This is my Illinois everbearing that has actually got a few mulberries on it, so it would be interesting to see if they swell up to an edible size. But you can see what I mean when you come over here and I show you an American pawpaw. These really are a very attractive large shrub or small tree, and with the added bonus of the nice flowers and the lovely leaf colours in autumn, it's one of the reasons I've selected something like that. Bottle brush is obviously not for fruiting purposes, but it's exotic and it's covered in flowers at this time of the year, so it makes a very attractive proposition in the garden. I've got 3 varieties of the Feijoa or pineapple guava. This one is, I think this one is Mammoth. This is an unnamed variety. This one's absolutely covered in flower buds, which will be coming out probably in about 2 or 3 weeks' time. They're just starting to swell up now to opening size, so I'll show them when they get to fruiting size, and I'll do a taste test as well. Another pawpaw hidden behind there. That variety is Sunflower, and I've got another variety similar behind there, actually in the ground, so I thought I'd give that one a chance to grow a little bit larger. This passion flower is unfortunately not a fruiting variety. It was actually mislabelled when I bought it. I thought it was a maypop or Passiflora incarnata, but unfortunately it was incorrectly labelled. But as it gets covered in flowers and it's very attractive, I'm not too bothered. And that's my 3rd pineapple guava or Feijoa Aca Celoiana. This variety is Triumph, so I've got 2 named varieties, so I should get good cross-pollination. But as you can see, it's the reason I'm growing blueberries in my border. I've got 3 varieties, is a triple benefit, at least attractive foliage in the spring. I've got lovely flowers on them. They have beautiful sort of creamy bell-shaped flowers, followed of course by blueberries, which the birds love if I don't get a chance to eat them, and then wonderful autumn foliage colours. So they really are a triple purpose plant as far as I'm concerned. So I have 3 of those. Again, I've got plenty more Agepanthus. Look at the height of these flower buds. I mean, that's nearly as tall as me. That's got to be 5 feet off the ground. I know they're in a raised border, but going to make a fabulous display, my Agepanthus. The other climber on the back is the self-fertile kiwi fruit or Chinese gooseberry. That's the Actinidia arguta isai. And obviously the reason I've picked that one is it's self-fertile, so I only needed the one. So again, it's got very attractive foliage. It's doing a nice job of covering the fence. We'll have lovely panicles of cream flowers probably next spring, I would imagine, because this is its 2nd summer and it's going to have lots of spurs growing off it this year, so I'd expect to have flowers on it next year and possibly some fruit. Your Butylon is purely for that's purely for ornamental purposes, no fruit on that, but it flowers pretty much all summer, so it's something I picked for that reason. Hidden down the back there is a Chilean guava, that's ugly Molini, and I think that variety is Flambeau. I picked that for the ornamental foliage, and you can't see them because they're small, but it has actually got bell flowers on it right now, which should theoretically should have some fruits on it this year. I mean, so you have the attractive foliage followed by nice flowers, and then small sort of like cherry sized dark red or burgundy fruits in the autumn, which again you can't buy anywhere in the shops, which I'm told are very nice, so I'll be looking forward to trying those. This is a Daphne here. I've got this purely for ornamental reasons because it literally flowers from May through to about December, and it's got a lovely scent to it as well, so just something that I felt would look attractive in the garden, even though it's not a fruiting purpose. And finally I've got my large pomegranate here. Well, no flower buds on it whatsoever, which is at the end of the day is the problem in this country. That's why we can't grow pomegranates here successfully, because it's probably not going to flower till July, and really pomegranates need 4 to 5 months to grow and mature to fruiting size, which would take us well into November or December, and it's too cold for them to swell. So really I'm growing it for ornamental purposes with an outside chance of a fruit on it. And my largest fig, which I'm growing as a sort of a semi-standard tree. Anyway, that was just to show you that I'm trying to grow unusual plants. That's a foxtail lily and a remus. Yeah, I'm trying to grow stuff that has more than one purpose. It's not just about the fruit, it's about looking nice in the garden as well. So you can see this Sagipanthus or Agapanthus just about to come out. So in about another week or two's time I'll have plenty of those in flower, and should be able to do a video showing how the garden looks then, probably at the end of June, Paul. Thank you for watching anyway, if you have done. Much appreciate it. Obviously welcome to click like, share the video if you like, subscribe to my channel if you like, and hit the bell if you want future notifications. So thanks for watching. It's Brett out now. Catch you in the next video.